Mom, is it true you had an affair?
Oh, I see word gets around fast. I take it you found out then?
Of course this affects our family. If anything, I found out too late. Sure, I get that I'm living out of state due to being on a prolonged work transfer, but why am I the only one who got left out of the loop? I'm your son, for crying out loud. Dad said he kept it from me because he didn't want to worry me. But I'm a grown adult. I had a right to know when everyone else did. I'm 25 and I've been working for the last 4 years. Isn't it about time I got included in family discussions?
I see.
Anyway, just what the hell do you think you're playing at? You're in your 50s, Mom. The days of doing crazy stuff like this should be long behind you.
Whatever. I guess I don't mind that he told you. At least I don't have to bother doing it myself now.
Wow. What kind of attitude is that?
Anyway, I'm pleased things are finally getting settled. The sooner I wrap all this up and put it behind me, the sooner I can move on. On that note, me and your father are getting a divorce.
Is it true that you're getting custody of Louise?
Yes, it is. She's still only in her 4th year of elementary school. Being separated from her mother at that young age would do irreparable damage. Even if your dad did take custody, do you really think he'd be in any fit state to be there for her? He spends more time away on those darn business trips of his than he does with his family. Plus, you live out of state for work, so it would be physically impossible for anyone but me to take her.
Yeah. You do have a point.
I might have a full-time job, but I'll still be around to spend more time with her than your dad would. And on the plus side, it means that financially, I should just about be able to manage everything. Surely you can see how it makes more sense for me to take custody.
But still...
But this has already been decided on, Jason, so you may as well stop trying to fight it.
You're moving, aren't you? Does that mean Louise will be changing schools?
Yes, it does. The plan is to move to the next town where my workplace is to make commuting a little easier. I'll tell you my new address once I get moved in. But you should bear in mind that I'll be starting my new life soon, so don't be under the assumption we'll be seeing each other very often. Goodbye.
Mom? What the heck is going on? I just heard that you moved the guy you cheated on Dad with into your new apartment while living with Louise. Is it true?
Huh? You know about that? How? Who told you?
One of my buddies lives in the neighborhood, and he said he saw you all going in together.
Oh, I see.
Is it really the guy you cheated on Dad with?
Oh, please, don't insult me. I already broke up with that simpleton around the time of the divorce. I guess it's just like they say, when times get tough, you know who really has your back. He's ancient history now. The guy your friend saw me with is my new boyfriend. But we don't live together, he just stays the night every now and then. That's probably what your father saw, but I'm afraid he gave you the wrong idea.
You let him stay the night, but... What about Louise? What do you do with her?
I leave her in the safe and trustworthy hands of a good friend who fully and non-judgmentally supports my romantic endeavors.
Oh. I see.
Listen, Jason, I think I have a good idea about what you're trying to suggest here, so how about having a little more respect for your mother? Do you seriously think I'd keep my elementary school-aged daughter around the house to bear witness to adult stuff? That said, I am single now, so who I date is none of anyone else's business. Unlike Louise, you're a fully grown adult, so I'd like to believe you at least understand that.
Yeah. I guess I do. I heard Dad screwed things up with you during the divorce, so... It's not really my place to go sticking my nose into the past and making comment on what went down between you guys. Being totally honest, something about this whole situation just doesn't sit right with me.
Is this my big bro's messaging thing? Jason, is it you?
Huh?
It's me, Louise.
Louise,
I'm messaging you from Mom's phone.
since when did you know how to use a smartphone?
My friend Kelly from my old school, before we moved away, her mom let her get a phone and she let us all take turns playing on it sometimes. She even showed us how to do messages for when we get our own one day, so that's how I know. Anyway, writing messages is so easy, I bet a monkey could do it. I hope I can have my own phone soon. This is cool.
Wow, I see. I had no idea you knew how to use one. Louise, you wouldn't happen to be using Mom's phone without her knowing right now, would you?
Yep. She came home drunk again, but this time she kept drinking even after she got back. I found her phone next to a whiskey bottle where she passed out. She's still asleep now. She got some kind of lock on her phone. What was it again? Fingerprint verification. I don't know what a verification is, but I know fingerprints. I figured if I could press Mom's finger on the screen while she slept, I could get inside, and guess what? It worked! I have her phone with me in my bedroom now. Anyway, Jason, there's something I want to ask you. I want to live at your house starting today, big bro.
Huh? From today, but don't you have school? You're not on vacation at the minute, right? It takes over an hour to get to your school from my house.
I haven't been going to school.
What? Why not?
I can't go to school because my rucksack got tossed in the garbage.
Your rucksack got tossed in the garbage? What the hell?
I can't go to school without a rucksack, right? The teacher would get mad at me. Plus, it's a new school, and I don't even know anyone yet. I'm scared enough to go as it is, but without my rucksack, I'm terrified.
Who tossed your rucksack in the garbage, Louise?
Mom's new guy friend.
You mean the guy who stays over at the house sometimes?
Yep, him. His name is Chad, and he's a total jerk.
Wow. Hey, Louise, don't swear like that. God damn it, I can't believe this is happening.
Jason, will you help me? I need you, please.
Alright, it's settled then. Starting from today, you'll be sleeping over at your big bro's house for a little while.
Woohoo!
Is Mom still asleep?
She's fast asleep.
Right. I guess her lights are bound to be out for a good while if she's wasted. Louise, I need you to do something for me. Do you know how to delete message history?
I don't know.
Do you know how to turn off the phone?
Yeah, I remember from when I saw Mom doing it once. Wait, is Mom gonna know I used her phone? Will she be mad with me?
Don't worry about it. You're gonna be totally fine. I need you to turn off the phone and hide it under the plant pot in the corner of the veranda. Can you do that for me?
The veranda?
It's to save time. Look, we're in the middle of summer right now. Mom hates the heat, so she never goes out on the veranda unless she has good reason to. Once you've hidden the phone, it'll take me exactly 1 hour to get there. Start getting your things ready to come to my place, and do not under any circumstances leave your bedroom, okay? When I get there, I'm going to ring the doorbell exactly 3 times. When I do, I want you to come downstairs to the front door as fast as you can, and we're going to blow this joint.
Okay, got it.
Jason, give Louise back to me this instant.
I see you finally managed to find your phone.
I knew telling you my new address was a mistake. This is abduction, plain and simple. I'll have you arrested for this, boy. You mark my words.
Jeez, Mom, can you even hear yourself? Get real. All I'm doing is protecting my little sister, you maniac. I'm keeping her safe from you and your boyfriend. There's no way I could sleep at night with her in that house, knowing how crazy and out of control you're behaving.
Quit blowing things out of proportion, you overdramatic little weasel.
How am I being overdramatic? I thought cheating on Dad and destroying our family was the lowest you'd ever sink to. Boy, was I wrong. I feel nothing but shame and embarrassment having a mother like you. You're so pathetic it hurts.
I said quit being overdramatic, you little pansy. I never raised you to be this sensitive. Anyway, quit trying to change the subject and give me back Louise.
There's no way you're having her back.
This is kidnapping. Are you insane? I'll call the cops if you don't give her back. I swear I will.
You still don't get it, do you? You have no idea that calling the cops on me would lead to nothing but the absolute ruin of you and your boyfriend, huh?
Huh? Why?
Louise told me a thing or two about what you guys have been up to, Mom. You told me you were leaving Louise with your friend when your boyfriend stayed the night at your place, back when I asked you about it. But that's not true, is it? You're forcing her on the college student who lives on her own 2 floors down in your apartment block the whole time.
I was just letting her practice babysitting for when she has kids of her own one day. Is that so wrong?
Do you think I'm naive enough to believe a bullshit excuse like that? I took Louise to the hospital and got the doctors to give me a medical certificate to document her condition.
A medical certificate? Her condition?
She's so skinny and emaciated, my jaw almost hit the floor when I saw her. I took her for a meal at a fast food joint so she'd have some calories inside her, and rushed her to the hospital for a checkup as quickly as I could. Thankfully, she wasn't in any immediate danger, but the doctors were still concerned. They said she was severely malnourished and suffering from several vitamin and mineral deficiencies. They decided to keep her in for a few days just to make sure she's okay.
Louise is staying in the hospital.
I don't think I need to spell out what this means for you.
Go on. What does it mean?
It means this is a case for Child Protective Services.
CPS? You'd report your own mother to CPS? No, don't do it.
If you call the cops, I'll call CPS. Does that sound fair? It's pretty obvious how you and your boyfriend have been treating my little sister all this time. I can't believe I fell for your responsible mother act when you told me you'd been leaving her with a friend when he stayed the night.
Jason, please don't do this. Isn't there any way we can make all of this go away? It's not fair for you to act like this, and you need to stop.
You, of all people, talking about fairness. Now, I really have heard it all. I'm telling Dad what you did, and there is nothing you can do to stop me.
What? No, don't do it. Don't tell your dad. Please, I'm begging you. I'll do anything.
Oops, too late. I just sent the message. Realistically, given the situation, Dad's the only one in any position to take Louise in right now.
Take her in? What's that supposed to mean? What do you plan on doing?
Dad will be taking custody of my sister.
What? You cannot be serious. You're delusional. You had me curious for a sec there, but that's actually the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Have you forgotten the reason I took custody of Louise in the first place, you little simpleton? Your father's a chronic workaholic and spends more time away on those damn business trips of his than he does at home. On what planet do you expect him to be able to look after a 6-year-old? I think you're being a little too ambitious with this one.
Actually, that's where you're wrong. This is doable, and we are going to make it happen.
Huh? Why do you seem so confident?
I'm guessing you didn't know this. But Dad switched apartments at his company just before the divorce went through. He mainly works from home. Goes into the office once or twice a week at most these days. If it suits him, I'm happy to move in with the two of them. I think it would be nice for us all to be reunited again, actually. Oh, and don't worry about Louise's environment being too male. My fiancée says she's happy to help out with anything that requires a feminine touch.
Huh? Hang on. What did you just say? Your fiancé? Since when were you engaged?
We've known each other since high school, but we met again as adults at my workplace when she started out as an intern. I was just about to introduce her to you and Dad after she accepted my proposal, but that's when your affair got out and the marriage fell apart. The timing didn't seem right anymore, all things considered. But actually, Louise found out about her a year ago when she saw us out on a date, while she was out on a school field trip. Can you believe what a coincidence that is? As for Dad, I introduced her to him 3 months back.
Wow, what the hell is this? So I was the only one who didn't know?
Yep. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about right now. What we're talking about right now is the fact that Dad's finally in a position to take custody of Louise and provide her with the love, care, and attention that she needs. I don't know whether you did what you did to Louise on purpose, but the fact that it was reprehensible and unforgivable remains the same. Neglect of that order is more than enough reason to have custody handed over to Dad.
But Jason, do you have any idea what the consequences of doing that would be? If your dad gets custody, I won't be able to get by anymore.
You won't be able to get by. I thought you'd been working a full-time job this whole time.
Well, about that. You see, some things happened, and, I quit my job.
Hang on a sec. No way. Did you quit your job to live off Dad's child support payments?
No, it wasn't like that at all.
I see. Oh, just when I thought you couldn't sink any lower. I'll be telling Dad about this, mark my words.
No, wait, you can't.
Anyway, the bottom line here is you're not getting Louise back, no matter what. Me and Dad will keep her safe from you if it's the last thing we do.
Jason, stop this. You wouldn't seriously betray your own mother, would you? I birthed you into this world and raised you, you wretched little ingrate.
That's rich. You got some nerve to accuse anyone of betrayal after what you did. The only traitor here is you.
How can you treat me like this? I am your mother. You should have my back. Sure, I might have made a mistake or two, but you're still my son. Don't abandon me, please. I'm begging you, Jason.
Have you literally no self-awareness? The only one who betrayed anyone is you. The only one who abandoned their family here is you. How can you destroy our lives by cheating on Dad and then have the gall to point the finger at me?
I'll change. I swear I'm ready to turn over a new leaf. Jason, I promise you I am.
I'm not naive enough to be fooled by your lies anymore, Mom. I'm a grown adult, and I can see through your bullshit.
Jason, stop swearing at me and stop being so cruel, you heartless monster.
All right, we're done here. Later, Mom. It was just after the time of our last message that my dad went into battle mode and resolved to win back custody of my sister. What triggered him into action, you ask? Well, simple. He paid Louise a visit in hospital. One look at her gaunt, emaciated face was all he needed to know he had no choice but to call the cops, so that's what he did. The result? Mom and her boyfriend ended up with a criminal record for child neglect. On top of that, she was ordered by a judge to pay back my dad for the last 4 months' worth of child support she'd been blowing on whiskey in fancy restaurants after quitting her job. As for custody of Louise, yep, you guessed it. My dad won the court case in a heartbeat. We decided to rent an apartment halfway between mine and Dad's workplaces so we could both still make it to work easily enough when we needed to. With that, the three of us began living together. Once everything calms down, the plan is for my fiancée to move in with us until me and her decide to get a place of our own. Something tells me Louise can't wait for her to move in with us. She took a liking to her as soon as they met, and they've been getting along great ever since. My little sis did have to change schools again when we moved house, but I was relieved to hear she already made a bunch of friends. Here's to hoping these days of peace, calm, and relaxation carry on forever. Well, thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to prove what a boss you are by liking and subscribing to the channel. Also, feel free to comment about what you thought of the story. We can't wait to see you again next time.